Hello everyone, Fanta here, and you are watching Fantavision. Today I'm discussing my first impressions and thoughts on God of War. Now, this is not a review. This is just kind of a, like I said, first impressions type thing, just because I have not beaten the game yet. I only do reviews when I've beaten the game, and I don't plan on beating this game anytime soon, so I don't think I'm going to do a review for it. But I did want to tell you guys my thoughts on it because it's just such a phenomenal game. I'm just having so much fun with it. I love the mechanic where when you throw your axe, you can have it come back to you, kind of like Thor. So you got your Mjolnir axe, which is really cool, and you can swap out the different handles, you can swap out the blades, you get different pieces of armor. So a lot of that is different from the other God of War games, along with the equipment and the level system being different from the other God of War games. You also have the side character, which is your son, who Kratos loves to call boy like a million times in the game, and he's actually really helpful. Unlike a lot of other companion AI, characters in games, he actually is really useful. I use him a lot in battle. You can actually kind of control him in a certain way. You can level up his abilities, and he also gives you a lot of clues to different hidden and secret things in the levels. It's a very organic way of showing you hidden parts of the level, because you do want to do a lot of exploration in this pretty linear game. It is a linear game, but that's not a bad thing. A lot of people use the word linear in a negative sense for video games, but in this sense, they do it right, because you feel like there's still a lot to explore around you, even though it is a very narrow path forward. So while you're going through this path, sometimes you might miss something, but if you pay attention to boy over here, he'll actually give you audio clues. He'll tell you, hey, what's this over here? Or you'll see him wander off somewhere else, and you'll be like, I wonder what he's looking at. And if you follow those visual and auditory clues and cues, you're going to find some cool stuff. So definitely pay attention to what he does. That makes it organic. Also, just do it on your own as well, because sometimes he doesn't tell you. That's just a random tip I'm giving you. I'm supposed to be doing the first impressions, but that was just something I picked up on. And there's a lot of hidden stuff, a lot of hidden silver, crafting materials, treasure chests. There's some puzzles for the treasure chests, which is just finding and destroying the little runic symbols. They could get more advanced later on, like I said. This is first impressions. I've played the game for about 2 hours now, and the combat system is also very different, but also a little bit similar to the old previous, four God of War games. Actually, there's like 5 or 6 if you include the PSP ones. Doesn't matter. It's completely different in the fact that it's not top-down anymore. It is over the shoulder. You do have that very ranged ability. I know before he had the ranged blades, but now it's very ranged because you can just throw it like across the map and bring it back. And it's usually pretty accurate, and it does quite a bit of damage if you hit them in the right place, or if you're using the strong version of the throw instead of the regular throw. And along with that, with the over-the-shoulder, the combat is a lot more visceral and a lot more intense feeling. Whereas when you're doing the top-down, I mean, it felt like you were kind of hitting things, but in this one, you feel every impact of your axe or your fists. And it's just wonderful. I love the parrying system. I love the fact that it's not just a stupid Batman system that a bunch of games copy and pasted. I mean, you can kind of play that way a little bit. You can see when they're on the backswing of their weapon or they're about to hit you, and you can hit them first and kind of do a stun and cancel out their attack. Kind of like Batman, but a lot of games have that. So it's not like the Batman game, except for the fact that it tells you, which direction they're going to be attacking you from. And it also is kind of unique in the fact that it tells you whether the attack is going to be ranged, unblockable, or if you have the chance to parry it. So it kind of tells you, like, it doesn't handhold you. I know I'm kind of making it sound like, oh, well, this game's going to be stupid, it's going to be easy, it's telling you everything you need to know. It's just kind of a quick hint of, okay, well, this is how it's going to happen, so you should probably dodge. Do you have time to react to that? That's up to you. That's where the skill kind of plays in. Do I want to dodge what I can parry? Or do I want to parry it and try to combo? I see that ranged is coming. Should I dodge and attack that? Should I have Atreus hit him with the arrow? Should I use my axe? Now, there's a couple bugs in the game, and I do want to mention that there's like, I think I had like 3 patches so far, and the game's been out for what, like 3 days? That's kind of ridiculous, especially when the patches, I think day 1, the patch was like 6 gigabytes. What are you adding to the game that's 6 gigabytes? I mean, that's like a full game. What did you add? Because there are still some bugs. Most of them are really minor. Like, one that I noticed was my axe. Even though I hadn't thrown it, I somehow couldn't use it, even though it's on my back. And I had to hit the button to have it come back again. So that was a weird bug. And then I had a couple other bugs where it was like, just like physics would kind of go wonky with the enemies. But most of the time, it's a very clean, well-made game. It doesn't have a lot of problems, except for the ones I mentioned. And it's definitely worthy of the 9s and 10s that it's getting. Now, is it a 10 worthy? I can't say yet. I haven't beaten the game. This isn't a review. Do I recommend you buy it? So far, hell yeah. The game's a ton of fun, and I want to support stuff like this because it doesn't have a bunch of microtransactions, doesn't have loot boxes, doesn't have a season pass, doesn't have any of that stupid crap in it. Even the day 1, like, stupid pre-order DLC crap was just like skins for your shield, and they don't affect gameplay at all. And I actually haven't even redeemed my code for it yet because I just forgot until right now that I have that. So they didn't go with the terrible pre-order practice. I mean, they're probably tempted by it, but they didn't do it. And the game is just so much fun, and they took the risk of going a different route with the series instead of going the tried and true method of crazy hack and slash above and lots of QTE events. And there's a lot less QTE in this game. I was very happy. So I feel like if you didn't like the other God of War games, but you like action, adventure, it's kind of hack and slash still. It's hack and slash too. But if you like those style of games, but you didn't like the old God of War games because of how many QTE events there were, then I think I can actually still recommend this game because there's just so much different about it. Now, there are some QTE events, like in the boss battle, it'll tell you to like hit these button to punch, but it's not like Guitar Hero anymore. We have to hit it within a certain time frame or you just lose the whole thing and you have to watch the animation again as you try to do it again. That doesn't exist anymore. You just go up, you hit the button, and it does the animation for you, which I like a lot more. I mean, some people could argue, oh, it's less interactive, it's more like a movie. I'm fine with that, because I don't like QTE events. I'm not actually doing the thing anyway, I'm just playing Guitar Hero, so glad those are gone. And also, I just wanted to mention, this is really tiny, has nothing to do with the game itself, but it has one of these really cool reversible covers. So you've got like the one that you see on the store shelves, which isn't bad, you know, it's pretty cool. It's got the mountain that you're trying to go to. It's got whatever this is, I haven't seen it yet in the game. But then on the back, you reverse it, and you get this really cool... I love this battle scene. Look at that. That's just awesome. Really like that. It's just the little things I enjoy, which is why I made that video about how I miss game manuals. I feel like this game would have a great manual if it still had one. It'd probably have like all the different enemies, because that's what I loved about The Witcher, is that it came with like this encyclopedia and this bestiology thing. And it told you, a bestiary, that's what it's called. And you could go through and look at all the backstories, and I've actually read through that because it's really interesting to see how they came up with these characters, what the backstory is of these enemies, what the lore is of the monsters, and it's really cool. And I feel like there's enough creatures in this game that you could have that. And so far, I do have one complaint about the creatures, is that it's kind of the same creature over and over and over. I've now experienced probably 3 different types. I've fought wolves, draugrs, which is like the main enemy type, which is kind of like a zombie thing, and these witch things. I'm trying to remember what they're called, but I mean, there's a bunch of different types of draugrs. It doesn't get too boring or monotonous. And I know there's lots of repeating enemy types in the main God of War series, so that's not a problem. I just wanted to mention what I've kind of come into right now in the first 2 hours of the game. But that's a bit nitpicky. It's fine. The enemy types are fine. One thing I do want to comment about is the insert, which is really weird. I've never had this kind of advertisement before, and I'm wondering how much they spent to put it in here, especially because I thought the company was dead, and that's a Loot Crate. There's a God of War Loot Crate ad in the game, and I'm just kind of baffled by that. I know this is something that makes no sense and doesn't really have anything to do with the game. Why are you mentioning this, Fanta? That's so random. I opened it and immediately was like, what? Why is there a Loot Crate ad in here? I don't really even know anybody like that uses a Loot Crate anymore. It's just kind of garbage in a t-shirt. And then they also have a ad for Detroit Become Human. But that one kind of makes sense because it's a PlayStation exclusive, even though it's just going to be a movie. So, God of War, do I recommend it? Definitely recommend the game. Tons of fun. The graphics are phenomenal. It does make my PS4 sound like a jet engine taking off, so that's kind of a pain in the ass. I've noticed, so this is going to be good for PlayStation 4 regular users, not so much for Pro, but I've noticed that the PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 4 Pro visuals are very similar. There's so many different videos online you can watch about the comparisons between the two graphics. I have a regular PlayStation 4. My roommates have PlayStation 4 Pros. I've seen the game on the console. It doesn't seem to run that much better. Runs a little bit better. I think you get like a couple extra frames. But besides that, it runs at a steady 30. I don't think I've ever had any frame drops so far, even when it got very action-oriented, very intense with lots of enemies. The game just is beautiful. It's fantastic. The sound is amazing, especially the sound when you get your axe back after you've thrown it. I love that noise. I love the sound it makes when you hit things with the axe. The thud of when you... I hit the mic every time. The thud of when you punch somebody with your fists, especially in like the rage mode, freaking awesome. That Spartan rage is just so much fun. It makes you feel like such a badass when you're just knocking out waves of enemies or kicking a boss's ass. So, God of War, day one buy, fantastic game, and like I said, I highly recommend it. So if you've got a PlayStation 4, you like fighting, action, adventure, hack and slash games, can't go wrong with this game. And I know I'm just kind of repeating a lot of other people and saying that it's a great game, but I really did want to make a video on it because I hadn't been excited for a game in a long time, just because of just the disappointment, the greed, all of just the game industry BS that's prevalent in so many games. But this one, I originally wasn't too hyped for, and then closer to launch, I was like, you know, that game looks pretty awesome. And then I got it, and holy crap. Get it. Get this game. Do it. So, I'm going to wrap it up now. Thanks for watching, everyone. As always, like the video if you guys liked it. Subscribe for more content. And like I said, this game is amazing. You're going to have a fantastic time with it and have a fantastic day. I said that way too many times this video. I'm sorry. By the way, for those still watching, those are the people that care about the stuff in the background. Yeah. I went to the Dominaria pre-release. I went 2-1. I pulled a Joda, a Phyrexian Scriptures, something like that, and a Mox Amber promo foil thing. So, got some good pulls, did well, freaking awesome. I made like a unblockable flying deck. It was really frustrating for most people that played against it. It was great. It was a ton of fun. So, if you ever have a chance to go to one of those, definitely recommend it.